Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is your friend Arian, and today I want to talk to you about immigration. I'm pretty sure that you heard on radio or seen on TV about all these children being separated from their parents and all these people being arrested at the border because they're trying to cross illegally. And me being an immigrant, I thought that it was a good topic to talk about. I don't necessarily want to talk about the issue itself, but rather I wanted to share with you the process that I underwent to actually become an American citizen. I want to start by saying that there are only two ways in which a person can come to the States legally to work here and live here. One is by being a high skilled worker. I'm talking about like a scientist or a doctor or an IT guy. And the other one is by marrying a US citizen, which is my case. Both processes are very similar. Both processes can be very lengthy and very expensive. However, the second one, marrying a US citizen, can be a little faster and a little shorter and can bring you to the States sooner than the other one. The processes also are similar in which the petitioner, in this case the company or your spouse, will have to file these applications with U.S. Customs and Immigration Services. Once these applications are filed and immigrations review all the applications, that's when the process actually starts, and that's where, if everything checks out well and if all your background is it's well, you don't have any criminal records and you don't have any trouble, then the immigration services sends your application to the national visa center. So then once you're able to come to the States legally with a visa, with an immigrant visa, your status there is a legal permanent resident, and that allows you to actually be a holder of a green card, and allows you to actually work and do a school and live here in the States without any problems. You can travel, go back to your country, and do many other things. The one of the only things that you cannot really do is vote, because that's a right that only applies to American citizens. And after spending 3 or 5 years, depending on the case, as a legal permanent resident, a person then can apply to be a U.S. citizen. And I said 3 or 5 because if you are still married to an American citizen, you can apply to be a U.S. citizen in 3 years. But if you just came as employment sponsored, you have to wait for 5 years to apply to be an American citizen, which is another similar process to the other one of coming here legally in the beginning. But you don't have to leave the country, nor you have to do anything else but just present yourself for an interview in which you could be asked questions about American history. You have to actually speak English, and you have to be able to read English, and you have to be able to also write English. And if everything goes well, then the immigration officer determines that you pass everything, and they grant you your American citizen. I just became a citizen last year on October, and that's pretty much where the whole process ends when you become a U.S. citizen. However, like I was saying, it took me 3 minutes or 4 minutes to tell you the whole process, but it can take years, and I'm talking about 10, 15, almost 20 years that people wait for them to become citizens. It's not an easy process. So again, I'm not on pro or against immigration or people coming or not illegally. I'm just trying to explain that it's not an easy process, and really when you don't have too many options, well, people have to do what they have to do. This was my experience. It took me about 8 years to actually do the whole process, but I wanted to share with you. I hope that this can serve you to be better informed, and see you next time. Thank you very much.